So this is the first cake that I ever baked. It's a baked cheesecake with poached cherries. A cup of water, because we're going to poach the cherries first. Some aromatics, cinnamon stick, 2 star anise, which I love, a cup of sugar, caster is the best. Just let that tick along, and in the meanwhile I'm going to put the oven on to 160. So while our poaching liquid is coming up to the boil, I'm going to get started on our bicky base. So in a large bowl, I've got 250 grams of Nice bickies, which is 1 packet. You can use whatever your favourite bickies are, like ginger nut or Monte Carlo or any of the Arnott's range, but today I'm using the Nice. 110 grams of melted butter, 110 grams of caster sugar, and I like to put just a little bit, maybe a couple of teaspoons of water, just to make sure that the bicky base sort of gets to a wet, sandy texture, and we'll give it a mix. It's good to have that water standing by, because if you need a little bit more, you can just add it in. A little bit more water, and there goes our poaching liquid, beautiful, and we'll put in the cherries. Okay, and back to our bicky base. See this consistency? It's really like wet sand. That's the consistency that you're after. Now we're going to prepare our tin. And I've just got a little bit of butter still left in the container there. Give the tin a little bit of a brush. 1 grease-proof round in the bottom. Give that another brush. And a bit of grease-proof for around the edge. And there we have our tin prepared. And now in for the bicky base. The wet sand consistency. We're going to press that into the base. Keeping an eye on our cherries, because you really don't want to overcook the cherry. Just gently working it up the side, moving your tin around. Okay, and then what I like to do is take a glass, this is normally my gin and tonic glass, and just press the glass up against the side of the tin and onto the base, so that you're getting a nice even distribution of the bicky. And there we have it, our beautiful bicky base. Okay, so now I'm ready to take the cherries off. So I'm going to actually just take the cherries out so that we can reduce that sauce. And I'm just going to turn the fire up so that we get some good reduction. We're looking for something really syrupy so that we can drizzle on, and it's nice and thick and glazy and almost jammy. So now I'm starting with the filling, and I'll start with the cream cheese. I've got 300 grams and 180 grams of caster sugar. And now for the sour cream, 300 grams. And then we're going to add the eggs, 3, one at a time. But we do need to be very careful when you're making a cheesecake not to over mix. And I'm going to add a little bit of lemon in with the zest, and just half a lemon squeezed in there. Beautiful. And now into our cake tin, into the oven for 40 minutes. So it's super important that we cool the cheesecake down in the oven so that it doesn't crack. So slow and steady wins the race, and then we pop it into the fridge for a couple of hours. So I've whipped some cream, and our cherry syrup is so beautifully syrupy. So here we go. So spread the cream out, just nice and rustic. And now I'm going to top with the cherry. And I love these stalks, so I always sit them up nicely. Just keep an eye on those little star anise and the cinnamon. Make sure they don't go into the cake. And I'm going to chop some pistachio, so they're just so pretty to rain down on the cake at the last minute. So here we go with the syrup. And the pistachios. And because I can, I'm going to rain down my sweet peas from the garden to celebrate summer. And my friends, that's food from the heart.